Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2023 ski test. Today we're talking about the Black Crow's Mirus Core. This is just hands down one of the most unique skis you'll ever see, or at least in the current state of the market. I like to think of this ski as potentially a glimpse into the future. You know, we've seen some similar skis come out from other brands, or at least skis that follow a similar trend. And I think the best way to think about the Mirus Core is it's blending two different sides of the sport that traditionally and historically haven't exactly gone hand in hand. And that's what I mean as this could be a glimpse into the future. So it's really blending freestyle and terrain park skiing with carving. So what this is a twin tip ski, twin tip all mountain ski, and it's got the turn radius of basically a slalom ski. So it has a 13-meter turn radius. It's 87 millimeters underfoot, so it's pretty darn quick edge to edge, and it is just a blast to ski. It is relatively simple aside from that shape. You know, we just get a pretty simple wood core in this ski. The flex pattern is, you know, pretty medium. I wouldn't describe it as a particularly soft ski or a particularly stiff ski. If anything, it leans more towards that softer side, but pretty basic build. Really, the uniqueness of it comes from its shape. You know, the tip, because that turn radius is so small, even though it's only 87 underfoot, we get a pretty big wide tip. The way that they kind of just chop off the end of it is pretty unique. In the tail, we get this kind of split tail design, almost like you'd see on a snowboard or something like that. You know, you definitely see that more on a snowboard. Interestingly, they retain pretty good torsional stiffness back here, which is just fascinating. And then we get pretty long rocker lines in this ski too. So kind of hard to see with just the single ski here. But tip rocker starts, you know, about there. We've got quite a bit of tip rocker. And then same thing with tail rocker. It doesn't have a tremendous amount of splay, but there's certainly a good amount of rocker back there. So super, super fun. You know, I have a blast every time I ski this ski. In fact, it's honestly something that I would love to own because it's just so unique. It's so responsive when you're carving on it. It's not like the most powerful carving ski if you want to talk torsional stiffness. You know, there's no metal in it. There's no like crazy additives to make it super torsionally stiff. So you don't want to ski like a million miles an hour down a steep, firm slope and expect it to hold. But what it does is it gives you just such an enjoyable, responsive, fun feel when you're on moderate pitches, you know, flatter terrain, when you're going slower. Sometimes in those situations, a ski can feel kind of dead, like it's not really doing much. You're kind of just along for the ride, just steering it down the mountain. This ski never feels dead, no matter how slow you're going. You know, you can make those super quick, snappy carves. You can kind of pop off little natural hits, do 180s. Something that I've heard voiced quite a few times or come up as kind of speculation in comments is that you wouldn't want to ski switch on it because this might catch on something. I can confidently say that I've skied at switch plenty, as have many of my colleagues, and none of us have ever had trouble skiing at switch. You know, it never feels like that's going to catch anything. I feel like you'd have to hit just like the perfect sized little twig that was coming out of the ground or anything, and not that many people are skiing switch through the woods, so I don't think it's a major concern there. So just a really, really fun ski. You know, it is kind of unique. I don't know if one-dimensional is the right word because I feel like there's a lot of different stuff you can do on it. You can play around as an all-mountain ski, then you can go in the park too and have fun there. But it's not like a traditional feeling all-mountain ski. So I think there's a pretty unique audience for this ski. It's kind of like, it's almost like something where if you have to ask if it's right for you, it might not be, or it probably isn't. But if you're kind of, you know, if you know what you're looking for out there and you want a really unique, just super responsive, super fun, playful experience, it's a really good option. Something that's actually come up a few times is it's really fun for that kind of progressive freestyle skier. I've actually talked to quite a few ski instructors that enjoy skiing it too. Because of that short turn radius and a good amount of tip and tail rocker, there's almost nothing that you can't demonstrate on it, from different techniques, different turn shapes, stuff like that. And it lets you do those things at slower speeds, which is kind of nice. You know, when you're like demonstrating technique to your students, you don't really want to go like 40 miles an hour because that might freak them out a little bit. Like, they're probably not going to do that. So why would you do it as the instructor? So just something that's come up in conversations with different people in the industry and different people that have skied it. Yeah, it's equally as fun as a teaching tool as it is as a just super progressive freestyle carving ski, which, like, what a representation of 2023 and the era in skiing that we're living in. So I wouldn't be disappointed if we started seeing more and more skis like this, or at least kind of following that same trend. So that's the Mirus core from Black Crows. Certainly let us know if you have any questions about it. It is pretty unique, so I can totally understand any of you wanting to clarify any information. Just let us know. And that's it. We'll see you out there on the hill.